Hi, all you model building enthusiasts out there. It's me again. It's my second video on this Kenworth 1/16 scale Aerodyne. I just recently posted my first video, and it's been a couple months, and I've already, ready for my second video. I've done a little bit more work to it, and I just wanted to go over some of this. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video so soon was because I just got something in the mail that I'm really excited about. And it's my 1/16 scale reefer unit. I just got this in the mail a couple of days ago. And yes, I plan on building a trailer for this, all from scratch. This was done by the same guy who did my wheels, Mike, on eBay. He said he could do anything, and I requested that he make me a reefer unit for 1/16 scale. Sent him some photos, and this is what I got. He also has one 1/25 and 1/32 scale. And just a shout out to Mike, thank you very much. And you can find these on eBay. This thing is pretty big. It's 5 inches by 5 inches by a couple inches wide here. And yeah, I'm stoked about this. It's got to be sanded down a little bit, and I'm planning on chroming these and painting this the same color as the truck. Alright, so that's going to be nice. I also got a couple more things coming in for 3D printing. Spoiler for the sleeper unit, and lug nuts, and air conditioning unit for the sleeper unit. Anyway, speaking of sleeper units, excuse me. Here's my sleeper unit. Last time you saw it was only 3 walls, and I finally got it down. Got the outside finished. It doesn't look that way, but it's ready for a coat of primer. I'm gonna have to sand it and then put a coat of white on it and sand it, because I am painting this red, so I want this to be as lightly colored as possible. Here's the back wall now, and this is sticking up a little bit. Fix that. Here we go. And I didn't point this out before, but this corner here I cut off accidentally. It was supposed to be this corner over here, so I had to refabricate the corner here. Came out all right. But again, I put windows in it. As you can see here, I did some touch-up work here on the bottom. This was actually kind of pivot, had pits in here, and this was a little bit raised here, so I had to sand this down a little bit and fill this in and sand it. I corrected my corners here, and the one thing I've been working on mostly on this thing is to fill in this gap here between the top and the whole sleeper unit, because this top is coming off, and I wanted to leave as little bit of a gap as possible. So I've been using 15/1000 of an inch sheet plastic and filling it in here and there, and where I can to fill in that gap. The top is looking pretty good. Can't see that that was 2 pieces. I got that pretty much sanded down and cleaned up as straight as I could get it. I don't think you'd be able to see it. The roof also, I wanted to get as much out of that, just as even as possible, and that was the last spot I had to touch up. Alright, let's take a look on the inside of this, because that's where I've been doing a lot of my work. And here's my inside. This is where my bed's going, and this is going to be hinged. It's going to go hinge up this way, so that's pretty much what that's there for. And this is where my refrigeration unit is going. I'm going to make a door for that, and maybe another door above that for the for storage. And here's the other closet that I was talking about before. It's going to be a coat and shoe closet. And here's what I've been doing for scratch. I'm going to leave these modular so they can come out and take them out, put them in and take them out. I'm not going to put these in permanently. Here's my bathroom. The toilet seat I made from scratch. I hinged it. I'm just going to have a back wall here. I'm making a door, and I'm going to make you know, the shower head and all the knobs and stuff for the plumbing. And out here, I'm leaving this a natural wood look. Of course, these doors are going to have hardware. And wherever you don't see it finished, that's getting upholstered. I got white leather to upholster that with. And swing this around, and here is my kitchen cabinet. Again, all this was done by scratch. You can see I did a natural wood look. Even the doors have kind of like a natural wood look with very red stain on it. That's what I wanted. I used very, very light colored tan, and then I went over it with a brush with a little bit darker tan, drying the brush off a little bit and just kind of streaking it back and forth, and then using colored pencils to add some more color and detail to it, make it look more like wood grain. The back is getting painted flat black, excuse me. And here's my table. I wanted to make that look a little bit marbleized, so it looks like a red marble table. And don't want to touch it because I get fingerprints on it. But, I made it adjustable so that way the table can go down on these chairs and become a couch. Press it down, and see, there it goes. It's been lowered, and I have my TV here. Here's my television, flat screen, of course. It's going on this side of my bathroom. It's going to go there. I'm going to make a microwave. Again, out of scratch. And the floor is going to be wood. There's some wood. I'm going to paint that a red, see-through red. So basically, most of the interior is going to be white leather with mostly red accents. Oh, another thing too is on my sleeper roof here, I'm going to make a small cabinet with speakers. It's going to be covered up. That's actually to hold the wall straight because it bowed in a little bit, and then like that. As you can see, I tried using just a piece of plastic and that didn't work out, so I had to wedge something in there to get it even a little more straighter. But you won't see that. You won't see any of this either, where I spliced the two sides together and upholstering all of that. You won't ever see any of this. Okay, and now on to what I've been working on recently. Like I said, I put this aside for now, and we worked on it in probably a couple of weeks. Carefully move this. Okay, here's my engine, and I cleaned it all up. Got the seams all cleaned up. Now, one of the things that you'll see here is that I painted this transmission, and what I did was I used old gloss coat paint, and I painted it with old gloss coat paint, of course after cleaning up the seams and sanding it down. Now you don't have to worry about sanding it down smooth, because this stuff is all cast. You know, cast has a texture to it, so it's not smooth. On the model itself, this transmission has a little bit of texture to it, so when you sand it down, you're losing that texture. So again, I used an old gloss paint that sat around for a while, and it's been thickened up. You can use any color, it just happened to be gray that I had. And paint small areas at a time, let it dry a little bit, and then you just take a paintbrush and I got a paintbrush here. You just go over it and just start hitting it with a paintbrush, you know, like getting the paintbrush to pull the paint, you know, and you might have to do it once or twice depending upon how much of a texture you want, but this will give you a nice casted look, and you won't have any seams. I did the same thing on my rear ends, so that way they have a nice casted look. When I paint it, you'll never see the seam, and you'll never know that it was sanded. And of course here you can see the mold cast, and I just kind of try to duplicate it a little bit on both rear ends. That's it for that. And what I've most recently done has been working on the frame. And the last time I made my video, I think I mentioned this, but I could be wrong, but I wanted to make my whole front suspension steerable. Now, I dropped my suspension 176 thousandths of an inch, and the way I achieved this was I sanded down the leaf springs, so there was only 2 springs, and there's a couple of springs right in the middle that lifted the cross member up even higher. So I got rid of all of that, and I also dropped my spindles. That lessened the gap, and I'm going to steer this, make this steerable. There, I can steer my front suspension. I also did it for the power steering here. You can see it all moving here. I have to do it by the passenger side because the passenger side is tight. But you can just see I connected everything up so that way it moves. And I used the 2 pieces for the arm. To make that move. Now what I used basically was just your common finish nail, which is in here, and a pen, a needle. As you can see, this is also a finish nail and needles. I had to make a spacer here to bring this rod down more because it was up against the leaf springs. Unfortunately, when I did that, I ended up breaking the rod, and I had to modify it and put a piece of pin there and super glue it. But that's all now steerable. Anyway, that's as far as I've gotten so far. A long ways to go yet. Anyway, until next time, hope you enjoyed my video. And I'll have some more input and information for you for this build. Goodbye for now.